Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is this working? Let's test it out. Hello, everybody. Hello. How is everybody? Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I gotta work out how to turn off the lo-fi music. It's getting annoying. What the fuck? Oh, gee. There's some kind of problem with the music. Should be off now. Okay, I got it. It's done. Thank you, guys. Thank you. How's everybody? Thank you. Guys, I'm graduating. I finished university. Who would have thought? It took me 50 years, but I actually did it. That's why I was unfortunately pretty absent from streaming over the past couple of weeks. I was finishing off my last assessments. I'm still doing my law degree, so I haven't finished both of my degrees, but I've finished my Bachelor of Arts, and I will be graduating December 19, I believe. So it's very exciting. And I got a new microphone. Today. I got a Shure mic, which is like supposed to be the gold standard in podcasting and stuff. How's the audio, guys? A lot of people have said that my audio has been pretty bad recently. So I got a new microphone. I spent $1,000. Big chunk into the savings, but I think it's good. Somebody says, congrats, your mic is saturating a bit. Damn. Okay. What should I do to fix that? It's not good. I'm just testing it out for the first time. Is this a little bit better potentially? Please let me know. And guys as well, if you're on YouTube, please leave a like. It helps us reach more people. So I think we've got like 10 people watching live on YouTube, which is obviously sadly a small number. We're not doing Groiper numbers yet. So if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like. Helps us reach more people. Make sure to subscribe. And if you're on Twitter, I think we've got like potentially like 50 people watching live on Twitter. Go through to my YouTube. I leave a link in the description. It's a lot better to watch on YouTube than Twitter. And you can have a better cinematic experience. So I encourage everybody to go to YouTube. Is there somewhere you can lower the gain maybe? My sound. Okay, I'm going to try this out. I'm sorry about that, guys. Audio. How is this? Is this better potentially? Please let me know if this is better. Just leave a comment if this is better. I'm trying to turn on some echo cancellation. I hope that's better. I hope that might be better. Please leave it low. Let me know. And I want to know, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing this fine evening? It is 8:37 p.m. Australian time in Brisbane right now. 9:37 p.m. in Sydney. And I know that my American friends are just waking up. I hope everybody's having a great time. Audio cutting in and out. Oh, gee. Such AIDS, unfortunately. Is this better potentially? Let me know, is this better? Please let me know. I am changing the audio settings a little bit. We've got 13 people watching live on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Please leave a like. It helps us reach more people. It's very important that you leave a like. I think we've only got 2 likes on the video. So you please leave a like. It helps us reach more people. And I'm going to be discussing a lot of things today. We're going to be discussing Zohran meeting Trump. We're going to be discussing anything people are interested in. Ask me questions and I'll answer them. Andrew says, "Sup, congratulations on the completion." Thank you, man. It took me like 50 years, but I finished it. Finally finished it, which is good. It's been a long road since I got thrown out of uni all those years ago. Is the mic still causing trouble? It's the mic still causing trouble? Please let me know, guys. I got it. I paid $1,000 for a new mic. It's so unfair. Is it better if I speak back? If I sit back a little bit, is it better? I spent $1,000 on a new mic today to celebrate my graduation. And I thought it was going to be exciting, and it's just, unfortunately, still shit. Who should I vote for in Victoria? I don't know, man. I actually don't like either party in Victoria. Liberal Party's pretty shit in Victoria. Labor's pretty shit in Victoria. Your audio is fucked up. It was better at the start. Bloody hell. Is this better? Is this potentially better? Please let me know. I don't know what's wrong with my audio. It's going to be great once you set up. You got to be close to the mic. Is this better? Is this better? Please let me know. My God, it's such torture. I'm so boomer when it comes to technology. It's not good. It's not good at all. We've got 200 people on Twitter and 15 on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, go to my YouTube. Somebody said it's much better. Thank God. Okay, thank God. Much better. Thank God. Thank God. Oh my God, man. It's can be so boomer sometimes with my audio, but I spent $1,000 on a new microphone. I got the Shure microphone. Apparently, it's supposed to be the best in the game. A lot of people have been saying for a long time that my audio's been shit, so I wanted to get a better audio system. And I literally got this as a graduating gift to myself. And I hope it's better now. Someone said, no way Drew graduated before we got GTA 6. That's true. It's good. You just have to play with the settings, I guess. Alex says, hello. How you going, Alex? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We've got 15 people watching live on YouTube and like 100 on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, go through to my YouTube. I'm trying to grow my YouTube. It's very difficult. I'm trying to grow my YouTube. That's where I need people to go. Don't watch it on Twitter. Go to my YouTube, please. It's very important. I need to grow my YouTube channel. I've got like 10,000 subscribers. I really, really want to build up my YouTube channel. It kind of sucks because I've got 190,000 on X, 190,000 followers on X. If I had 190,000 on YouTube, like I could do this full time. I could live off that. Twitter ad revenue is good, but you can't live off it. I've got to build my YouTube. It's so much more important that I build my YouTube. I think YouTube ad revenue is like 10 times Twitter ad revenue. Opinion on Fuentes calling for National Socialism. Well, I'm obviously I'm an opponent of National Socialism. I don't like National Socialism. I'm not a Nazi. I hate neo-Nazism. I don't like it. I am a patriot with my economic views are actually quite centrist. You know, I do favor a role for the state in directing the commanding heights of the economy. I favor free markets. I still believe in free markets as the ideal, but I still think that there can be a role for the state in directing capital, directing investment. Someone said your mic is clipping a lot. Still, I thought I improved it. It's a shame. Yeah, I don't endorse nationalism and socialism. It's not a good combination. It's good you want to go busking. Sure, I mean I don't sing, but thank you. Maybe I will. Who would have thought, guys? Who would have thought back in the day that I'd finally graduate? Someone said Hitler was a Keynesian as well, Drew. Oh, that's messed up. Come on, not every Keynesian is a Hitlerite, of course. I want to show everybody. Look at this, guys. I got kicked out of university in 2020, and it took me 5 years, but I went back and I finished. 5 years. It took 5 years, but we did it. Deep down, Drew loves Zohran. No, I disavow. I don't like Zohran. What was your degree? My degree was a Bachelor of Arts in History and English Literature, and I finally finished it. I'm a little concerned because I keep discovering neo-Nazi accounts on Twitter, and then on the profile it says followed by Drew Pavlo. I hope that's just an accident. I sometimes follow Nazis just to see what they're saying, but I obviously hate Nazis. I mean, Nazis literally want to deport me and kill me, so I'm obviously against Nazism. Long time, new account again, no C. Hello, man. What channel were you before? Deep down, Drew loves Zohran. It's a very complicated relationship, me and Zohran. It's a very complicated relationship. If Zohran didn't hate white people, I would like him. Actually, that's facts. That's a fact. That's an interesting fact. If Zohran Mamdani didn't hate white people, I would actually probably like him. He's a very charismatic guy, got a beautiful smile. If he wasn't a gay race communist, I would probably like Zohran. I'd probably like Zohran. There are some things that I get around. I like free buses. I'm not against like free buses. I'm not like outraged by like, I'm not outraged by like the grocery store scheme and stuff like that. And like, obviously I don't like his like Israel-Palestine politics, but at the end of the day, like, you know, it's New York City. He's not the president. He's not really directing foreign policy. So I mainly don't like Zohran because he is continually sympathetic to like jihadists and continually sympathetic to like anti-white communists. But if Zohran wasn't a communist, if Zohran didn't hate white people, I'd probably like him. Favorite era of history? I don't know, man. I mean, definitely modern history. I've been really interested in the 60s recently. My final project was on Nixon, and I've done a video essay on Nixon that's like 40 minutes, and I'm going to be releasing that on my YouTube channel soon. We put so much effort into that, and I basically read like 2,000 pages worth of research on Nixon, and I've put together this beautiful video essay, and I'm going to hopefully post that soon. Someone said, Drew loves Zohran because he's a brown person and Zohran's a brown person. I'm not even brown. Look at me, man. I mean, I got like a kind of Levantine tint. I don't know. I'm not even brown. It's so stupid because like back in like 2020, when like Black Lives Matter was a thing and I was a progressive, like I wanted to get brown points then because I was a progressive, I was a leftist. So I was going around telling people that I wasn't white. And I thought that meant that I could say the N-word when I was rapping. That's literally why I did it. I was going around telling people that I was like black because I thought as a Cypriot, I could say I was black and then I could say the N-word when I was rapping. And then it never worked. Back then, no one on the left accepted me as black. Everybody kept on saying, no, Drew, you're white. And when I started protesting against the Chinese government, they started saying Drew's a white supremacist. Even then, when I was a lefty. So I was trying very hard to say I'm not white. And they all said, Drew, you're white. And then now I'm happy to be white. And then all the white supremacists go, no, you're brown. So what can I even do? It's unfair. The leftists call me white and say that I'm a white supremacist. That's not true. And then the righties say that I'm brown. It's not fair. I feel like I'm very much unfairly treated here. I've got 20 people watching live on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching live on YouTube. If you're watching live on YouTube, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It makes a lot of difference. It helps us a lot. I really want to try and build my channel up. I think we've got 3 likes on the video. If you can like the video, it'll help us reach more people. So please leave a like on the video. YouTube recommends it to more people when you've got more likes on the video. I think there's 7 likes now. Thank you guys for starting to like the video. If you're watching on Twitter, we got like 80 people watching live on Twitter, I think. Go to my YouTube. It's such a better experience to watch on YouTube. And I'm trying my hardest to build up my YouTube because the YouTube ad revenue is like 50 times more than Twitter ad revenue. So please go to my YouTube. It's so much better there. Opinion on Zohran sending social workers to crime scenes. Like, yeah, obviously that's retarded. That's the part of Zohran that I don't like. The part of Zohran that I don't like is his retarded attitude on crime, his retarded attitude on like race issues, his hatred of the West and the Western civilization and Western alliances and the Western civilization. That's what I don't like, right? If Zohran just was a normal guy who wanted to have free buses and he didn't hate white people and didn't want like race communism, then I'd like him. Let's go through some more of the comments. Someone said your mic is hell. Still, I thought I improved it. What's wrong with the mic? Okay, let me try test it. I'm going to quickly listen back to my thing. 1 second. I just listened to my mic back and it's not that bad. It does clip out a little bit. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know, to be honest. Drew understands the light-skinned biracial struggle. I'm a light-skinned brother. That means, you know, I'm not going to say it. If I was a light-skinned, I'd be allowed to say it, but I'm not allowed to say it. It's not fair. This is the bullshit. This is what's bullshit about it, right? If I actually was brown, as like some of these like these far right guys say, I would be allowed to say the word. I'd be allowed to say the word, wouldn't I? But I'm literally not allowed to say the word, so it's not fair, is it? It's just literally so unfair. They say I'm not white, but I'm still not allowed to say the word. It's fucking bullshit. Nah, Drew, it is better now, but the cutouts are just less frequent. I don't know about the mic is better. You should collab with Logic. Who's Logic? These people hate the Western world, yet they still move here. Makes you think, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. You have to like the West. If you move to the West, you have to like us. Otherwise you can't be here. If you hate us, you have to leave. Too white for the left kids, too black for the right kids. Been sharp enough since Prodigy did. I like El Searcher. Have you read In the Arena? Best memoir I've read. Nixon is fantastic. I've got to read that actually. That's on my list. I've been reading so much on Nixon lately. Very interesting bloke. We'll have a Zohran wearing a MAGA hat by 2027, inshallah. So true. We can convert it. Lol, Drew is still tilted from that Twitter call where the nationalists wanted to deport them. That was like 6 months ago. I got over that so quickly. And then people on like the Destiny subreddit like brought that up again. And then like started talking about it. Like, dude, it was 6 months ago. I didn't give a fuck. It was some random like guy on meth. Who cares what he thinks? Does Zohran hate white people? I haven't seen that anywhere. He does hate white people because he said that he wanted to tax white people a high rate just for being white. So that's what I don't like about Zohran. Drew, bring on Captive Dreamer and talk about your new alliance. I wouldn't say that I've got an alliance with Captive Dreamer. He criticized me today because I criticized that Steve Logs guy who's like a full Nazi. So I wouldn't say I'm in an alliance with Captive Dreamer. I'd say we're at an understanding. There's a detente between Drew and Captive Dreamer. There's just a detente, I'd say. There's just a detente. Been following since before your nationalist realization. Great progression, man. Thank you. I'm glad there are some people who appreciate it because a lot of the people who follow me just got pissed off at me having a kind of like shift towards patriotism. A lot of people got mad at me for that and lost respect for me and stopped following me. So I appreciate the people who still follow me. Did you see Trump just ended asylum for Somalis? That's so unfair, man. There needs to be 10 million Somalis in Minnesota. Why does Fuentes not know who Drew is? Very disappointing. Oh, look, realistically, I'm not that big. It's sad. I've got a big Twitter account, 190K. I'm happy with that. It's been growing pretty well, but my YouTube's a lot smaller and my streams are a lot smaller. So I'm not surprised that he doesn't know who I am. I hope that I can grow my streaming and I can do better. I want to be in the arena. I want to be going up against these guys, you know. Obviously, I've got a lot to criticize Fuentes on. I strongly dislike his political stances. Thoughts on the Victorian socialists? I don't like them. They're commies. I hate communists. Communists want to kill me. Therefore, I'm against communists. Have you read Winston Churchill's autobiography? I started a few days ago. It's very good. He's got very voluminous writings. I've actually got some Churchill biographies I've got Churchill's World War II stuff in my bookshelf. I haven't read them yet, but Drew, do you identify as a national conservative? I'd say national conservative, probably. I'm like a national conservative who's pro-Ukraine. Someone said, collab with Blade. Okay, man, I'll collab with Blade. For sure. What don't you think Minnesota should become Mogadishu? No, I think Minnesota should become Mogadishu because that would be progressive. Progress is when you have 1 billion infinity migrants from the third world come to the West. That's progress, and it's automatically beautiful when that happens. And so we support it whenever that happens. That's what it means to be a progressive. Supporting infinity migration from the third world is very progressive. It is a beautiful image. I have to say it's a beautiful image. It is a nice image. It's very funny. Zohran did very well. In that interview. He was very charismatic. He somehow got along with Trump. I'm surprised. But he's a very good politician. Zohran's an amazing politician. I wish he wasn't a race communist. I wish he didn't hate white people because then I would like him. If Zohran was the exact same but didn't hate white people, I'd like him. That's a fact. I would like him. But it's just a shame that he's like a communist. Drew, are you a civic nationalist, anarcho-capitalist? I'm not an anarcho-capitalist. I am a nationalist. Someone said your mic is so weird. I don't know what the problem is. It's a shame. I bought a new microphone today. It cost me $1,000. I was really excited to use it. And apparently it still clips in and out a bit. There's some kind of problem, I think, with StreamYard. Um, Someone said the issue with Nick is that he's America last, Catholicism first. I don't even think he believes in anything, to be honest. I don't know. Fuentes, like, he just chops and changes and goes around so much. That was the funniest press conference. They actually kind of look very. They like each other there. They like each other there. That they do look like they like each other there. Someone said the mic is good as long as you stay close to the mic. Okay, I'll stay close to the mic. I'll try my best. I've got a bad habit of fidgeting, and I start like spitting out around. That's my ADHD. I got to try to stay close. Oh yeah, Candace Owens. Okay, let's go look at Candace. Someone said Fuentes is more of a comedian than a politician. Not gonna lie, he's genuinely very funny. He is a funny guy. I obviously hate his politics, but he is a funny guy. I can see, like, I've seen Nick Fuentes clips before where I've laughed. Obviously, I don't like his politics. If he was just a comedian, he'd be good. He's not a comedian though. He's obviously got his politics. I hate Nazism, but I understand he's a charismatic operator. He's a charismatic operator. He's good at speaking. He's very funny, and that's a pretty strong combo. Obviously, I strongly disagree with what he stands for. This is very funny. I've got a comment. Someone said, "What's the plan after uni?" My plan at the moment. So okay, like I've still got my law degree that is ongoing. I've got like 2.5 years left on my law degree. That would be restarting in March. I would like to try and make it on YouTube and streaming by March. So it's November 22 now. I'm going to give myself like 3-4 months. I'm going to stream a lot. I'm going to try and make a lot of videos. Fingers crossed I can try transform this into a full-time job. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Like, I'd say like 50% of my income now comes from Twitter ad revenue. And then I still work a part-time job to also support myself. But if I can hopefully grow my YouTube channel, get some more Patreon subscribers and stuff like that, my goal is to try to do this full-time. Because I love politics, obviously. I'm passionate about this. I'm obsessed with it. And I enjoy filming videos. I enjoy streaming, all that stuff. So I'd love to try and make this into a full-time job. That's the goal. And it's a tough life out there. I've got a lot of debt. I've got that huge fine from the Brisbane City Council for holding a blank sign outside the Chinese consulate, like 20 grand. That's full-on torture. That's like psychological warfare, like raped. I got raped by that. So it's hard getting raped by the Brisbane City Council like that. I think it's very difficult. I've got money on credit card debt. Like when I bought this microphone today, I put $500 off it on credit card. So I'm not a rich man. I'm not at the point where I've made it professionally, but I want to try and make it professionally, you know? I've got 190K on Twitter. If I could try to get like 1,000 of my followers to subscribe on Patreon, Substack and stuff like that, I could try and make a career for myself as a writer and a communicator, political commentator. That's what I want to like try and do. That's my dream. That's my passion, you know? It's a tough world though. It's a tough gig. It's difficult. I think the toughest thing, right? I've been finding it very difficult to crack it on YouTube. Like Twitter is so easy for me. I'm doing so good on Twitter. Like I'm really lucky that I've gotten to the point where like I can post stuff and just every day like stuff will go viral for me now because I've got enough followers. But it's so hard to crack it on YouTube. I've only got like 10K subscribers there. And it's very difficult. It's like, it's really hard. I've never had a viral video on YouTube yet. So that's probably one of the difficulties. I got to try and get like at least one video that like really cracks the algorithm. And then hopefully then I'll be set off on a good path. Thankfully, Nick Fuentes is not old enough to be president. Nah, he can never be mainstream like that. What happened to the mod who revolted and cooed you from the server? Oh, that was just bullshit. Like, it was like a family friend of mine who's a very young guy. And like, he's just, you know, because he's young, he's impressionable, and he had a meltdown. It's sad. He cooed me from my own Discord server. It almost destroyed the Discord server. I think we saw like 300 people there, but it got destroyed for a little bit, which was a shame. It was not good. So that sucked. That whole thing really sucked. And I haven't even really been using my Discord since that happened, but I got to try again and try fix it up. Also, Fuentes loves black women more than white women. That's pretty funny. Fuentes is good entertainer and great voice for radio. I think his politics end up being whatever is more proactive in the moment. I think that's probably true about Fuentes. I think he does provocative. Yeah, he just provokes people, and I think he chops and changes. There's lots of lessons from Nick Fuentes. Learn from him, not the gay parts, though. You need to debate more people like not so erudite and weak. Be able to flesh out your ideas using better language. Those debates were so torturous. Because it's so difficult. Like, it's so difficult to try to communicate my ideas across. It's difficult. I've got to improve with debating. If you want to make it big in YouTube, just exaggerate everything and make a soy face at the same time. Okay. As a French, I'll admit I gasped when you said how much uni costed, lol. Uni cost. What do you mean? Like I don't think I've talked about my uni cost. Dude, your last live stream was like a month ago. Yeah, the reason why was I was finishing off my university. So I had like my exam season like the last month. I finally finished my Bachelor of Arts. I've finally got a Bachelor of Arts degree under my belt. Someone says, Nick Fuentes will become mainstream because Gen Z is irony poison and yearns for any possible change, no matter how ridiculous. I hope not, man. I hope it not. There's something genuinely satanic with some of Nick's old clips, and I'm not referring to the obvious jokes. Yeah, legit. Yeah. A lot of Nick's old stuff is like legitimately demonic. Oh, you said it was 190K. No, sorry, man. Sorry, I'm maybe you misheard me. No, I was saying that my Twitter is 190,000 followers, and I'm hoping that if I can get like a chunk of my Twitter following to go subscribe to me on Substack and stuff like that, I can try make this professionally. That's what I was talking about. My university didn't cost 190,000, but I've got like 50 grand in like university debt though. I've got about 50K in university debt, and then I've got like a 20K fine from the Brisbane City Council. So I'm pretty underwater right now, but it's okay, man. What can you do? At least I'm a normal guy. It's funny, like people go, "Oh, Drew's paid off by Israel and shit." No, I'm literally a normal guy. I've got like 20K debt to the Brisbane City Council. I've got 50K in university debt. It's like it's not good. It's not good. I'm trying to work a way out where I can survive. You need to practice using language better. There is a cultural difference where Australians use lazy English and our language generally gives the benefit of the doubt. I don't think I use lazy English, but fair enough. I'm glad Nick has pivoted towards that good Catholic boy act, I guess. It's all fake. We all know it. He's changing his politics all the time. The only thing that has stayed consistent is his obsessive hatred of Jews. And I don't like that stuff. I just genuinely don't like that stuff. I had a lot of Jewish friends growing up. I know a lot of Jewish friends who are very nice people. I don't like that stuff, okay? I don't like just obsessively hating people for what they were born as. I don't like that. Even Tucker Carlson said that. Even Tucker said that. Tucker said like the thing about the West is that you're supposed to hold to universal principles and not judge people for how they are born. And I agree with that. That should be what the West is like. That should be a foundational principle of Western civilization. So I don't like judging people just because they're born Jewish or whatever. I think that's wrong. Also, and people might say, "Oh, you're a hypocrite, Drew, because you're like Islamophobic, blah blah blah." But I've got Muslim friends. I like people like Shag Zadeh. I just don't like jihadists. Okay, I just don't like Islamic extremists. I don't mind Muslim moderates are cool. I'm cool with Muslim moderates. I just don't like Islamic extremists. That's all. And I think people need to assimilate and integrate. If somebody is Muslim, but they're patriotic about Australia and they don't support infinity migration and they don't hate white people and they're a normal, cool guy, I've got no problem with them, okay? I think that's normal. I think I've got normal views. I just don't like extremists. And I just don't like people who are like tribalistic about like religion. I've unfortunately noticed that in my experience, even with a lot of so-called moderates, Islamic moderates and stuff like that, unfortunately, sometimes they will still be extremely tribalistic and stuff like that when it comes to Israel, Palestine, and all that sort of stuff and foreign policy. I think that sucks. I've got no problem with people who are like fully assimilated though and stuff like that. I think that's fair. I don't hate anybody for who they are, what they were born as. Doesn't mean I have to support infinity migration. Like, I think it's a normal view. Like, low migration, but I don't hate anybody based on who they are. Just some constructive criticism. Try avoid ad hominem in debates. Sometimes you use them. Look, I do get too worked up sometimes. That's a fair point. I will try and work on that in the future. I do get too worked up sometimes. Fuentes' interview with PBD has more views than Trump's. Fuentes' Tucker interview is on track to be the second highest on his channel. Your most viewed video is about Fuentes, etc. He's popping right now. That is true. My most viewed video on YouTube is about Fuentes. Do you think Gen Z is more far left or far right? I'm mixed about this. Seems like 60% of Gen Z supports socialism, but a lot of people online are on the right, are saying young men are becoming more far right. I don't know, man. It's really tough to say. It's really tough to say. And it also depends by country. Because like in Australia, for example, in Australia, the majority seem to be very left, my generation. In America, it's tough to say. Like in the recent 2025 midterm elections, they voted pretty heavily anti-Republican. In 2024, they voted pro-Trump. So it's tough to say. I listen to your debates with bigger Americans. It's hard because they are more particular with language, and it's hard for us Australians to explain their ideas. Your chat with Australian people is easier. Maybe so. You need to better consider your nationality arguments better like chess. Yeah, fair enough. Finally out of uni, please enhance your consistency. If you claim a principle, then embrace them to all cases and clean up your moral dissonance. No more bullshit on these good immigrants. That one's bad. Vietran. It's obvious though. Some immigrants are good and some immigrants are bad. You can't have a blanket statement, right? Like, for example, I think Hong Kong immigrants are great and perfect and assimilate beautifully. I love Hong Kongers. Do I think that Islamic extremists are a good migrant type in the West? No, I don't. There's differences, okay? There's differences. It's pretty obvious, like, some migrants are great and assimilate really perfectly. Sometimes migrants can be very tribalistic and anti-Western in their attitudes and pretty hostile to white people. And that's another story. And when there's not assimilation, then it's a huge problem. I think it's pretty obvious to say, like, obviously some type of immigration is good and some type is bad. Like, wouldn't it be more stupid if it was like, wouldn't the dumb position be that all immigration is good and no, like, or vice versa, all immigration is bad? My position's not anti-immigration as such. I still think some immigration is good. Drew, why do you think English people shouldn't be deported from Australia? I don't think English people should be deported from Australia because, like, England founded Australia. Like, it's the founding, like, we've got obviously a very close historic connection there. And I don't agree with severing that connection. Like the country was founded by British people. Someone said that they're hardline anti-Islam, but they don't hold anything against Muslim people. Ideas, not individuals. You could hold a similar position. Look, I'm very critical of large sections of, Islamic theology and extremism and stuff like that. But against actual individual Muslim people, I don't harbor any prejudice against people on an individual basis. If somebody's nice to me, I'll be nice to them. Seriously, that's a fair point. I think that's a fair point. Do you guys think Nick is worrisome though? It seems like LARP. I've seen clips of him toning down lately. I don't know, man. He changes on a dime though. Like sometimes he pretends that he's chilly. Sometimes he pretends that he's moderating, and then the next day he'll say something insane. So you can never tell with Fuentes. He's a very wily operator, and he does like change basically day by day. Someone said, I think American Gen Z is more Nazi, but in Britain, Gen Z is more corporate socialist. In South Africa, Gen Z are all communists. Are you South African full circle history? The only thing throwing your lot in with the Groyper crowd will result in is MAGA communism for white people. I don't support Groyperism. Do you think European migrants to Australia assimilated in 1788? That's stupid, man. That's stupid. There wasn't a country to assimilate to in 1788. Australia was separate. Australia had like 300 separate indigenous nation tribal things. And it was a fractured situation. There were hundreds of different languages, hundreds of different tribes. So you can't say, European migrants didn't assimilate. I mean, there literally wasn't an Australia to assimilate to in 1788. But you treat everything in absolutes and lump things into categories so broad they accidentally include good, honest people, offer solutions instead. Okay, what good, honest people have I been against? I've only been against like anti-Western communists and Islamic extremists. That's the only thing. I've never been against like normal chill migrants, and I don't go into like I never engage in like anti-Indian racism shit, which people all over Twitter do. I don't do that stuff at all. So if an English immigrant commits a crime in Australia, they shouldn't be deported. If an English immigrant commits a crime, then they can be deported. Okay? I don't want to like keep English migrant criminals, obviously. Someone says, I think if Fuentes becomes the mainstream on the right, the Republicans won't ever win an election again because moderates, independents, and non-whites and females will vote Democrat. Like, if Fuentes dominates the right, it's going to be destructive. It's going to be extremely destructive. Of course. It won't be good, and it would, in the short term, it would definitely help the Democrats massively. Obviously, that's just obvious. We've got like 70 people watching live on Twitter. Thank you guys if you're watching on Twitter. I encourage you to go through to my YouTube. Go through to my YouTube. That's where I'm really trying to build up. And we've got, how many likes have we got on this live stream? We've got 10 likes on the live stream. If you're watching, please leave a like. It helps us reach more people. Please leave a like on the live stream and subscribe as well. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Helps you reach more people. Would you debate Lavender? I don't know who Lavender is. Which Lavender? Why do you on Twitter keep saying gay race communists? Specifically, what the point of including the gay descriptor does not seem descriptively true for the category you're trying to denote. It's just like a funny term that Druck McCunley came up with. I don't have any. I've actually got a lot of gay friends, so I don't have anything against gay people. I just thought gay race communism sounds funny. Like that time you went to Chinatown and went apeshit. Vietnam and China are like Serbia and Albania, but treating everyone in Chinatown as CCP collaborators is just weird, bro. I didn't say that they were all CCP collaborators. I never said that. I just said that all I said was that it was silly that there's one street in Melbourne. It's not even Chinatown. It's a street like a couple streets away from Chinatown. And there's 15 bubble tea shops and 5 Chinese real estate firms on the same street. And the real estate firms only advertise in Chinese. And I was saying that's bad sectarianism. I didn't say anything about CCP. Drew, in general, are you rooting more for the Democratic Party or for the Republican Party? Definitely not the Democratic Party, but I still have problems with the Republican Party. I would say I'm strategically unaligned. But I'd say that I've become more sympathetic to Trump. And again, I don't agree with everything he's ever said, and I don't agree with every single policy, but I do think that they need to shut down the border. I do think that they need to get tough on immigration. I support that in general. I support them shutting down the drug trafficking, blowing up the drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean. I like that. I disagree with them when it comes to Ukraine. I disagree with them when it comes to like being pretty harsh towards allies like Japan and Australia and Europe. But I agree with them on mass migration stuff. And I think that's increasingly like the most important issue in Western politics. And that's probably why I've become more sympathetic. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're 40 minutes into episode 104 of the Drew Pavler Show. I didn't stream for a month because I had to finish my university. I finished and I'm graduating December 19 in 1 month's time. It'll be good fun, finally graduating. If you're watching, please leave a like on the video. It helps us reach more people. And I would like to 9-4 over the goal. Congrats, dude. Thank you, Restoring Order. Drew, tell us about your roommates. Nah, man, I'm not going to go into that. But I live with roommates and nice people. Does anyone have any tips for growing on YouTube? Because, yeah, man, that's the thing that I've been having trouble with. Like, so I've grown I think my Twitter went from like 110,000 followers at the start of the year to 190,000 now. But my YouTube went from like 6,500 to 10,000. So my YouTube's been like way slower to grow. Bachelor of what? I got a Bachelor of Arts. History and English Literature. It's a good degree. It was interesting. Drew, bring Vanessa on. Actually, I will do that. My mum wanted to come on. I'll try. Actually, maybe even tomorrow. I'll try to see. Collab with other creators. Post more often. Live stream daily. Yeah, I know. I got to live stream daily. That's true. It's difficult, but I've got to do it. Stream more, upload daily, and post shorts. 3 most guaranteed ways to grow. Someone said, I got to say, it's really funny that leftists often take that clip of your dad yelling at you to get a job they're supposed to hate capitalist cyber for. I was 19 when that video was filmed, dude. That video is 6 years old. It was literally filmed. I filmed it July 23, 2019. So literally 6 years ago. I think I just turned 20. I just turned 20, and I was still living at home then. I live on my own now. It's funny at the time. I laugh about that video with my dad. I think I sent it to like 3 or 4 of my friends because I thought it was funny. And then someone sent it to another person, and then it leaked somehow. And then people share it around. And it's kind of annoying, but it's kind of funny at the same time. Like, I think the annoying thing is that people act like the video was from like last month. And I think that would be cringe if I was like 26 still living at home. My dad was screaming at me like last month. But the video is literally 6 years old. Like, I was literally 20 years old. I'm now 26 years old. Like, it was so long ago, man. What can I do? People are going to be like bringing that up when I'm like 50, acting like the video was filmed last week. I filmed it in 2019, guys. I'm like, it's 2025 now. Drew, I worry that you are guided down a bad path due to a bad epistemic commitment of yours. Specifically, you seem committed to epistemic anti-purism, but this is an incredible position. Explain epistemic anti-purism further, please. I think you should take lessons from Peter Zohran channel. Short 10 videos of your thoughts in response to a Q&A question. Yeah, good idea. I do like Peter Zohran. Try posting your videos to Reddit. Getting an initial big influx of views on a video right after its upload can help the algorithm pick it up. Yeah, maybe. What would be some good subreddits to post? Someone said, morning, Drew from the UK. Thank you. It's cool to have some people from the UK here. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, Pantalon Roush. Drew, how do we rationalize the fact that Mamdani is constantly associated with and singing praises for Islamic terrorists? What if Luma is more right than we think? Listen, I actually don't think, I'll explain my thoughts on this. I don't think Zohran is an Islamist. I think Zohran is like, it's like a race socialist or a race communist, right? And race communists, like I think Zohran's sympathy for Islamists comes from the fact that he's a leftist. I don't think it comes from the fact that he's a Muslim. I think in a lot of ways, he's not actually that strong a practicing Muslim. Like, he goes to mosque sometimes. Apparently, he practiced Ramadan. Respect for that. But I don't think he's like that hardcore religiously observant. Because, you know, obviously he does like, he campaigns at LGBT places and stuff like that. If he was like a hardcore religious Muslim, I don't think he'd do that. So I think Zohran, I think his sympathy for Islamist stuff comes from the fact that he's a leftist. I don't think it comes from the fact that he's religiously Islamic. And you should bring on your community for cash. $5, 15-minute chats. I'll do it now. If anybody wants to, okay, next person to put $10 in a super chat, I'll send them the link and they can join the stream and we can talk for 10 minutes, okay? Next person to send $10 super chat, I'll bring them on and we can discuss for 10 minutes. I think that's cool. I think that's fair. I'll do it. Somebody send $10 super chat. Help me pay off the cost of my mic and my massive debt. Lamio, why can't they use those estates or do that? That's what I mean by practice consistency. If everyone's allowed to do it, there's nothing wrong. Same as Greek restaurants in Melbourne. Dude, there's no part of Melbourne, though, where there's 15 Greek restaurants right next to each other. Okay? There's no part of Melbourne that is like literally like a segregated ethnic community of Greeks. Like, if you go to those parts of Melbourne, you go to parts of the Melbourne Central Business District, there are literally parts that are like basically ethnic enclaves. And yeah, I know it's not illegal. You're saying it's not illegal. I know it's not illegal, and I'm not saying it should be illegal. I'm just saying it's bad to have ethnic segregation. I think that's bad. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the problem is with my issue, with my thing. I'm not saying ban bubble tea shops. I just think that it's silly that there's like 15 on one street in the Central Business District of Melbourne. Dude, I thought you were debating Alex Naritzer. You told me you would. DM him now. Okay, I will. I'll try to organize that soon. Did you go to uni in the States? Thinking of going there for a master's? Now, I went to university in Australia, but I would like to try go and do a master's degree in America. We'll see how it goes in the future. Zohran does seem, this is restoring order. Zohran does seem more socialist than Islamist. His wife doesn't wear hijab. Neither does his mum. His mum's Hindu. So obviously he's not a hardcore religious Muslim. His mum's Hindu, right? And he's Shia as well, Shia 12er. So he comes from, an actually moderate Muslim background. I think his sympathy for Islamism comes from the fact that he is politically interested in third worldism, which comes from his dad, who's like a post-colonial studies academic. And I think his like sympathies for this cooked Islamist stuff comes from the fact that he's like a leftist, third worldist, post-colonialist sort of thing. Post-colonial theorist type guy. I don't think it comes from the fact that he's a Muslim. I think he's not really like a hardcore Muslim. learn to speak, buddy. Listen, man, I'm going to figure it out. I'll figure out why the streams. I'll try to figure out the audio. Guys, if you're watching, we've got like 80 people watching live on Twitter, and I think it's like 20 on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, go to my YouTube. Much better to go on my YouTube. And leave a like. It helps people reach. It helps more people see the videos. Drew, how familiar are you with Islamic ideology? It seems a lot of Westerners are ignorant to the values of Islam. It's one of the most evil. Okay. Distinguish between political Islamism and Islam as religion. I think it's too boomer to basically just say like Islam is an evil ideology. I think that's too boomer. There are some forms of Islam that are not bad. There are some forms that are like quite more moderate in practice. If somebody is a Muslim and they can coexist with people of other religions and other communities, then I don't have a problem with them. My problem is with political Islamists who seek to dominate and subjugate other religions and politically dominate and subjugate other countries. That's my problem with it, okay? But more moderate people who are not hateful and don't want to impose their religious values on others, I don't necessarily have a problem with them. Your argument could make you look foolish in a debate if someone used reductio ad absurdum in debate. Okay. Inquiry says epistemic anti-Pyrrhism is the position that if you agree with A on P, but then you find out that A has a bad epistemology, that gives you reason to reduce your credence in P. Okay, and can you explain how I have done that inquiry? Shia 2, interesting background. Yeah, he's Zohran and his family are Shia 12er, which is interesting. Wasn't his dad also a North Korean simp? Yeah, Zohran's dad actually was a communist at one point. He was like legitimately a communist. In Uganda, he worked with the North Korean embassy to do like study groups, and he later tried to defend that, saying, "Oh well, it was a time in Ugandan history where there was no room for political organizing, and so we just pretended to do these North Korea study groups so that we could organize against the Ugandan dictatorship." That's what he said. And it's hard to say. I think it is pretty clear, though, that Zohran's dad was a communist at some point in his life. How influencers find P meme. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I liked that. I liked that post by Benthams Bulldog, where he included me in the what was it? It was like satire of everyone's position. Proofs that P. It was funny, actually. Nick Fuentes, if you deny P, you might be gay, Jewish, or a woman. Matt Walsh, lots of people say, I'm a P first guy, but not only a P guy. No, I'm a P only guy. I think P, and I'm not afraid or ashamed to admit it. Drew, my friends, I believe P, I will die for P, and I believe Western civilization needs P. Yeah, that is how I talk. I like that. And then Destiny. It's so cringe, dude, how many people deny P. It's so cringe, holy shit. But it's just memes. It's just memes. Yeah. I hate Destiny now. Destiny was so rude to me, man. Destiny was so rude to me. And I hate how he was joking around about Charlie Kirk getting murdered. I just think he's a sick guy. And I defended him when all the crazy sex stuff came up. And it just gets to the point where it's like, how many weird sex things have to happen with Destiny? I'm sorry. How many fucking weird sex Destiny things have to happen? I'm not going to defend it anymore. I fucking hate it, okay? I kept on defending Destiny. And then the next week, it'd be like, Destiny raped a horse. And it's like, okay, how much more can I fucking defend? It'd be like Destiny alleged to leak a sex tape. And I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily know the full ins and outs of the story. And then the next day, it's Destiny did anal sex with Nick Fuentes, and then they fucked a horse. And I'm like, okay, at that point, how could I fucking defend it? It's just too much. It's just too much. Like, it's annoying. I lost a lot of credibility defending Zohran. Oh, not Zohran. I lost a lot of credibility defending Destiny. Comes out, Destiny creepy to someone. I just ignore it. The next day, Destiny leaks a sex tape. Okay, this isn't good, but what can I do? And then the next day, it's like Destiny fucked a dolphin and did like anal sex with a fucking 80-year-old grandpa. And it's like, okay, at that point, I'm not defending it anymore. It's just fucked. I don't know. It's just fucked. How much longer can you do it? Why do they all have to have weird lives? My life is actually so normal, dude. This is why I think I can crack it in streaming. Because my life actually outside of Sorry, I accidentally clicked it off. Okay, this is why I think I should do well in streaming. Okay, Hassan Piker literally tortures his dogs. He's a communist who tortures his dogs. Vaush does horse porn. Like, what the fuck? Just horse porn. Destiny, like, how many related sex scandals can there be? How many can there be? I defended Destiny the first time there was a sex scandal. And then there's another sex scandal. And then there's another one. And it's like, okay, at some point, Destiny, learn not to fuck people in weird ways. Like, right? It's just simple. Hassan Piker went to a brothel and probably did weird sexual stuff. Like at the brothel, that exact brothel got raided. It got raided for human trafficking. The brothel that Hassan Piker went to. So Hassan Piker goes to weird brothels. He once joked about a dog fucking him in the ass. I've seen Hassan say that. Hassan said that a dog fucked him in the ass. Hassan said that. It's not good. And then Vaush is like into creepy horse stuff. And then, like, what the hell is going on with Destiny? How many sex crimes can there be? How many can there be? I defend him for the first time. The second time there's another sex crime. I'm like, okay, like, I'm still there for you, Destiny, but it's getting weird. And then it just gets to the point. It's like, Destiny fucked the horse. And it's like, nope, I'm out at that point. I can't defend that. It was the first time around. Maybe you could defend it. Second time, it's getting weird. Third time, he's like, what? Sexting a 17-year-old? It's like, come on, man. You're like 35. You've got a fucking kid. Like, grow up. It's weird. How many sex crime allegations can there be? I don't know. Like, I hate this shit. How many can there be? Like, do you know how embarrassed I was? I had those videos with me and Destiny. I literally had a poster of me and Destiny in my house. I had a poster of me and Destiny in my house. And then it comes out, Destiny sexting teenagers. And he's joking about pedophilia and what he's done anal sex with a horse. And it's like, okay, like, please, you're destroying me, Destiny. You're pulling me down with you. You're like holding me down underwater. What can you do? It's not good, is it? It's not good, is it? 1 sex crime is enough. 2, it's weird. 3, it's fucked. And I actually live a very normal life. Believe it or not. I like legitimately just stay in my house. I just stay in my house. I read books. I go on Twitter. I'm chill. Like, I'm actually chill. Someone said Drew has a hunchback. No, I don't. What the fuck are you talking about? Hunchback? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Not a hunchback. That's sick. Sick man. Yeah, so fucking sick of Destiny, hey. So opening 7-8 restaurants with English menus and names which already existed in Vietnam is bad. Like, come on, dude. Viet Tran, we're talking about ethnic enclaves, okay? There's no massive English community in Vietnam. No social life is not a flex. I've got a social life. I walk my dog. I've got a beautiful family. I love my life, man. My life is great. I love my life. What about the time you accidentally ended up in a gay club? If you think that was real, you're retarded. I'm sorry. That was the most obvious meme in history. That was like the most obvious like bit in history. A funny bit, by the way. That was a very funny bit. I kept on pretending that I was like making fun of like Andrew Tate guys who are like insecure about their masculinity. I was like joking that I got like stuck in a gay bar. If you didn't know that was a bit, you're retarded. I'm sorry. What can I do? What can I say? If you don't understand that's a bit, you're just fucking retarded. That's just actually sad on your part. But it is about philosophy and principle and laws. Yeah, Viet Tran, but you don't have a situation where your country is being significantly bought up by Chinese oligarchs, okay? So if you were living in Australia, it'd be a bit different. We've got a massive situation in Australia where very ultra wealthy Chinese net worth individuals come to this country and buy up massive amounts of property and land, and they live like kings and they live like they're like gods. So I think if you were in my situation in Australia, you would maybe be a bit more sympathetic. You don't have that in Vietnam. Vietnam has a lot more sovereignty in some ways. It's interesting. Is the CCP messing with your microphone? I'll play around with it. I don't know what the issue is. Is it a bit better now? Yeah, but dude, I never offered an absolute solution. Did I say once that shops should be closed down? I never said that. I never said close down the bubble tea shops. I just was pointing out that it's weird. Trump has many. So I don't necessarily support him. I don't necessarily support Trump. Critical support, maybe. I agree with some of the stuff like mass migration. I don't agree with everything Trump does. The main problem with Epstein is that he is incredibly smart but completely lacks intuition and memory. A lot of his takes are hallucinations or galaxy brain autism. I don't know, man. He doesn't even really read books. Drew, your opinion on Tim defending Nick Fuentes saying he's being taken out of context. Did Tim Pool do that? I didn't see that. Drew, do you think China is the future? Thank you, man. What do you think? What do you think I'm going to say? I literally almost got killed by the CCP at multiple points. You think I'm going to say that the CCP are good? No. No, I'm not. Good luck. What do you think I'm going to say? Drew, do you think China is the future? No, I fucking don't. And if it is the future, I'm killing myself. Hang on, I didn't see inquiries post. I'm going to see. Okay. 1. When explaining your move to the right, you keep saying things such as, I found out that people would celebrate me getting robbed. The inference there seemingly being that this gives you justification for believing that those people, leftists, were wrong about the morality of you getting robbed. They're wrong about broader issues as such, and hence that gives you justification to move towards the right. This is epistemic anti-purism, and it is a bad philosophical position. Yeah, but my problem is that I disagree with the instinctive position that a lot of leftists take, which is that crime is the result of sociological problems rather than people being morally evil. I don't like that leftists continually try to make excuses and continue to say that crime is the result of people's circumstances and people being brought up the wrong way and inequality and all this stuff. It doesn't really, it's not a valid position when people are being terrorized day by day by criminals. Criminals are antisocial, and if we want to have a good functioning society, you need to go Lee Kuan Yew against them. You have to go Lee Kuan Yew against them. Drew, did you see Tim Pool's video debate with the Babylon Bee when Tim was defending Fuentes from being labeled a fascist? Fuentes himself would call him a fascist, though. That's so dumb. Like, Fuentes himself would literally call himself a fascist, so I don't even know what he's trying to defend there. Are you still a virgin? No. We're very good in that department, thank you. What do you think about Trump boycotting the G20? I haven't read about it. I'll have to read about that. I didn't see that. We're purely dedicated principles here. Unless you can show us a sausage and 3 elements, we cannot see this. Okay, then. Thank you, restoring order. Your argument is it is weird, and that argument is bad. It is not systematic or consistent nor good in debate. Okay, I think it is bad for social cohesion to have 10 Chinese real estate firms on the same street selling property just in Chinese to Chinese people, not to people. There's no English language signage at all. I think that's bad for a society when you've got a housing crisis. I think it's bad for a society and its social cohesion when you have shops that are selling only to people from one single national community, a foreign national community to Australia. Tim drank the Nick Fuentes. Fuentes literally describes himself as a fascist. So what are you going to do? What's even the defense there? How can you say that he's not a fascist when he very clearly is? He says he is a fascist himself. Do you like anarchists more than communists? I mean, I like anarchists slightly more than communists, but a lot of anarchists are very annoying. I was an anarchist at one point. Since you graduated, do you have a job? I just graduated, man. And my job at the moment is video producing. I'm making about half my living from YouTube and Twitter, and the other half I work part-time as a legal assistant while I study law as well. What's your sudden obsession with Lee Kuan Yew? Lee Kuan Yew's political philosophy do you agree with? I agree with Lee Kuan Yew. His ability to create a high trust society with strong social cohesion. I admire that. He found a very poor, fractured society. Singapore was divided racially. They had race riots. They were impoverished. And he built a modern, developed society, a high trust society. And it's a lot stronger. It's a lot stronger than a lot of Western societies. They have much better situation when it comes to crime, a lot better social cohesion. People trust each other more. I think it's a good society that they've built there. Thoughts on BAP? I do find BAP funny. That's wrong. Those real estate can also be used by normal Australians. They write their price in both English and Chinese. No, I went to them, man. I went to them, and half the shops were literally advertising only in Chinese, only to Chinese people. That is wrong. In a country like Australia, which speaks English, you can't just advertise property to foreign buyers in Chinese and not even attempt to sell to Australians. That is wrong. I saw a video of you falling over in some snow. Comment. Yeah, that was a funny video from about 5 years ago. Drew, do you believe in HBD ever since you started based up? What do you mean HBD? Human biodiversity, are you talking about? What has Netanyahu committing October 7 got to do with Palestine? That's stupid, man. Hamas did October 7. Every Dengis supporter is basically a Lee Kuan Yew fan, since Deng Xiaoping's reforms were heavily based on Singapore anyway. Deng Xiaoping was a lot better than Mao. He was obviously a lot better than Mao. If Deng Xiaoping hadn't done Tiananmen, and if he hadn't done the one-child policy, then I actually would have said Deng Xiaoping had a good legacy. Obviously, Tiananmen poisons that legacy a lot. I live in Melbourne. Okay, sure. I remember seeing the last... Dodo, I thought you lived in the UK. I remember there was a guy with the same username who lived in the UK. I don't think you live in Melbourne. In what way are you studying law? I'm studying law at the University of Queensland. I finished my first year of law. Lee Kuan Yew opened up capitalism and market forces. Controlling the market is not the way. I do support market forces, actually. I'm not a race realist. I think you can... I think you can improve IQ through education and through better education and social conditions. I'm not a race realist. Obviously, there is a problem with low human capital. That is mainly to do with poverty. It's a difficult thing. It can take generations to overcome. Unfortunately, it does seem that it requires a lot of generations to overcome, so it's a long process. I don't think anybody is necessarily like bad from birth, but obviously, some people do struggle with disabilities and stuff. I don't know. It's a difficult question. I'm not a race realist. Again, that Vietnam English argument could easily argued against that, bro. I am dead serious. You should 1,000% have someone prep you like academic debaters. Okay. Explain how it could be easily argued against. What do you think about Hassan getting stopped by police in Tiananmen Square for a meme? I was actually the guy who broke that story. I'm very proud of that, actually. I broke that story. I was watching his stream. I clipped it up. I shared it. It got like 5 million views. I'm very proud of that. That was one of my best ever That was one of my best ever research gets. That was good. Do you want to ban Somalians from Australia? I don't want to ban anybody based on race. I think we need to have much stricter standards, though, for education and much stricter standards for social cohesion. I think it's very difficult when you get extremely poor people from very poor countries that have extremely different cultures to us. So I don't want to necessarily ban anybody based on race. There's always going to be good people from all communities. There's always going to be good exceptions to any rule. But it is very difficult in general third world migration. Dodo is Melbourne born and bred. I'm on of your video getting a bubble tea before gym. Dodo, I remember the same guy was based in the UK. So I don't know if you're telling the truth. We love Saddam. Okay, man. Oh, we love Hassan. Okay, man. Drew, you posted a lot of falsehoods about Hassan, up the research quality. What did I post false about Hassan? I didn't post anything false about Hassan. Fix your mic. I'm trying to speak into it. I think it's okay. So you completed a year of a law degree at the same time as finishing off an arts degree and working and tweeting 2,000 times a day. Well, I didn't do law this year. I finished my Bachelor of Arts this year. Last year was my first year of law. This year I finished off my Bachelor of Arts degree. I'm going to go back into second year law next year. Everything about his dog was complete bullshit. That's not true. That's not true. That was very obvious. It was very obvious that he shocked his dog. I thought that was very obvious. Mass illegal immigration is bad and doesn't improve the economy in Canada. Well, look, it didn't improve the economy in Canada. I think Canada, like Australia, took in too many people too fast. Hassan should never be forgiven for his excited reaction to Mao's little red book. That was disgusting, man. Mao killed 50 million people, 60 million people. Hang on, you're saying, when did I mention race, Viet Tran? I didn't say race. I didn't say it was a racial problem. I've got no problem with anybody on racial lines. I just don't like segregated foreign communities forming that don't assimilate in the nation. When did I say I had anything to do with race? I didn't say anything about race. I was saying that it's bad to have segregated enclaves with unassimilated migrants. That isn't an argument. I've never said that Chinese people were bad on race. I like Chinese people. I don't like communism, and I also don't like people not assimilating. That's all. Chinese is race. When have I said anything racially about Chinese people? Ever. I've never said a single thing about race. Are you saying that they are not allowing non-Chinese in? It's pretty obvious, okay? If I wanted to buy a house, would I go to the shop in the Melbourne CBD, which has only Chinese language signage, and all the advertising is in Chinese? No, I wouldn't, because I don't speak Chinese. It's pretty obvious. This is such a stupid argument. This is so stupid. They don't have to legally bar non-Chinese people segregated. It's enough for it to be de facto based on the fact that there is a massive language barrier. So I know theoretically I can walk in, I don't speak Chinese, and that creates a de facto language barrier and creates a de facto barrier from me accessing the services of that shop. Drew finished university. That's awesome. When you started uni, I just finished high school. And today my grandson just finished year 12. Good for you, man. That's a good one. Pretty skill issue. What's this person talking about? I don't even get it. Alex says this, do Hassan fans really believe he didn't shock his dog? The level of brainwashing is insane. Yes, it's sick. These people are sick. These people are sick. The Hassan fans are sick people. Do you worry about future opportunities? No, I don't. I'm fucking great. I'm so happy. I love my life. I've got no problem. Oh no, I can't work in a fucking started office that's boring and makes me want to kill myself. Oh no. Wow, I'm so sad. Wow, I won't get hired at Minter Ellison or Clayton Utz, the law firms that you use to try expel me. Wow. I will kill myself now because I can't work for a retarded law firm that's soul crushing and makes me want to kill myself. Wow. Wow, that's so sad. I can't work in a crushing office. Oh no. Wow, I better kill myself now. Who gives a fuck? Do you worry about your employment opportunities? No, I fucking don't. You think I would care? You think oh wow. Drew, you're never going to get a job working for like KPMG. Good, I don't give a fuck. You an accountant? No, I don't. Fucking boring. I would want to kill myself. I'd literally want to kill myself within 12 months of being an accountant. Oh, Drew, you'll never get to be an accountant now. Did I ever want to be an accountant? No. Okay, fuck you. Someone said mass illegal immigration improved the economy massively in the US because we don't have a welfare state to leech on. No, it didn't improve the economy. Oh my God, Viet Tran. Do you understand there's a difference between de jure segregation, which is legally based, and de facto segregation, which is like enforced de facto without the law? So it's enough for things to be de facto segregation if you can't access it because it's a language barrier. If there's a Chinese real estate firm that only advertises in Chinese and does all of this in Chinese, it is de facto segregated from people who don't speak Chinese. It's pretty obvious. Lee Kuan Yew was a strong believer in Asian values. Do you think Australia can become like Singapore despite not being an Asian country or rooted in Asian values? Lee Kuan Yew was very westernized in many ways. I think it's silly to try and put him into one box. He was a very westernized man in many ways. Drew, have you considered that those arguing from racist or anti-racist positions are operating from two sides of the same assumption? The assumption that difference necessitates moral discrimination. I don't know necessarily. Drew, you're not even vegan and murder animals all the time. Why do you care about Hassan's dog all of a sudden? Wow, so if I have a burger, that means that Hassan Piker can torture his dog with electrocution. To me, I'm sorry, guys. I had chicken the other day. I had some chicken, fried chicken. Therefore, Hassan Piker gets to just torture his dog. He can just put an electric collar on his dog and just torture the dog because I had fried chicken the other day, and therefore he's allowed to torture his dog. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Hassan Piker is allowed to torture his dog because I don't even know, because Drew has meat. Drew eats burgers. Drew had a steak. Hassan Piker can just put an electrocution collar around his dog's neck and just turn up the electrocution to 100 and just fry the dog. Hassan Piker can do that because Drew had a steak. And if it's hypocritical for me to say that Hassan Piker should not torture his pet animal because I have steak. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you, James. That's smart. True, you'll never get to mine coal for China. Are you sure you want that? Wow, that's so man. That's so sad. I can't mine iron ore for China. I can't operate heavy machinery for China. This is so sad. Wow. Okay, explain de jure and de facto. De jure is legally based. De jure, Latin phrase meaning by law, what is legally recognized, established by law. And the de facto is the opposite. De facto is, in fact, a situation that exists in practice regardless of the law. So a good example of this is the Chinese real estate firms in Melbourne. There's no de jure based segregation. They're not legally stopping anybody from entering their store who's not Chinese. But de facto, there ends up being segregation because they only advertise in Chinese, and therefore their clientele becomes overwhelmingly Chinese. Because if you're English, if you're an English speaker, you're not going to go to a Chinese real estate firm to buy a house in Australia. and they're primarily selling to foreign buyers. They're primarily selling to people in China. That's just a fact. Drew, can you address the allegations? What allegations? What are you even talking about? I have bookshelf envy. Thank you. I love my bookshelf. It took me many years to build it up. Drew, you do bad thing. Why you care when see bad thing happen? Wow. Yeah, true. That's actually a good point. Good point by monitoring the situation. Drew had a stake, therefore Hassan Piker gets to just torture his dog. Just torture his dog with electrocutions, put the shock collar around the dog's neck, just turn up the electrocution meter to 100 and torture the dog, poison it, torture it brutally. Because I have stake, I can't say that's wrong. That makes a lot of sense. I know, Vietran, I'm not saying that the Chinese real estate firms are legally stopping anyone from entering. I'm just saying that it creates a barrier when they only advertising in Chinese. This is such a stupid argument, man. Stun look. Hassan shocked that dog, and even if he didn't, they still taped the collar to act like it was a collar. Yeah. You know he's right about Palestine, so deflect on this bullshit, which you know. No, he's not right about Palestine because he literally supports Hamas, and Hamas brought complete destruction to Gaza. It was a disaster. There was no reason for them to do October 7th. There was no reason for them to start the war. So it's just stupid. Everything Hassan Piker advocates for is fucking retarded. Pretty obvious. Drew, thoughts on trans people? I don't know. Like, that's a very broad question. I don't hate anybody based on characteristics like that. I don't necessarily understand trends. I don't think people that are kids should do irreversible surgery and stuff like that. I think that's pretty normal. But I don't hate anybody necessarily. And I don't think people should be bullied. So I've got I just think leave kids alone and then it's okay. Vietran has just like fully misunderstood me. Fully misunderstood. What do you think of Roy Stewart? I like Roy as a person. Unfortunately, his politics are very boomer. They're like 15 years out of date. He's still one of those guys who basically supports full migration to Britain, even though it's created a disaster. It's very obvious that multiculturalism in Britain has been a disaster. The Rotherham rape gang crisis, all that stuff is a massive catastrophe. And Rory just basically sees it as an inconvenient fact and that's what I disagree with. That's what I don't like about Rory. This James guy said, you literally can't complain about Hassan torturing a dog if you still eat meat. There's nothing different morally speaking between a dog and a chicken. This guy's so retarded. There's a difference between somebody eating meat, which humans are like biologically built to do, and Hassan Piker electrocuting his dog. There's a big difference there, okay? Big difference. What? You people are fucking retarded. What are you talking about? Oh, so if you eat a beef steak burger, you can't criticize somebody for torturing their dog. Sorry, that's a fucking retarded standard. That is just fucking retarded. I'm going to continue eating meat, and I will continue criticizing Hassan Piker for putting an electrocution collar on his dog. I think that's pretty normal. Drew, did you know that the Chinese philosophy of sharing and oneness actually makes communism the superior system? Okay, Saddam, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fuck off. Then it is not segregation. Okay. Oh my God. Like, Vietran, do you understand that it de facto is segregation if people who are not Chinese can't work in those stores and can't buy from those stores? It is de facto segregation, okay? It is a de facto sectarian enclave. Wake up chat. It says, hello, Drew. Hope all is well. Thank you. Someone said, looking super slim. Maybe you're taking the piss. I don't know. I'm pretty happy. I lost like 15 kilos, which is like 30. I feel a lot better. It was good to do. I'm glad that I did it. I feel a lot better. Everybody should be healthier. It's a very good thing. You feel a lot better. You have a lot more energy. Has multiculturalism been more of a disaster than your audio? Yeah, I think so. Multiculturalism in Britain led to the grooming gang crisis, where literally thousands of British women, like thousands of English girls, were raped by foreigners. So I think that's worse than my audio. Humans are omnivores. It's completely unnecessary. We were built to eat meat, man. It's pretty obvious. Oh my God. What is Vietran? What's this? Like, why is Vietran struggling to understand this? I don't understand. I just genuinely don't understand. If I go, okay. If I went to Vietnam and I opened up a Greek store and all the language was in Greek and we advertised only to Greek tourists, and it was basically impossible for Vietnamese people, locals, to understand what was happening, that would be de facto segregation. It's pretty obvious. Wake up, tell. Can totally tell. Good for you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Drew, you must understand most of your audience members are liberals and are feeling whiplash from your new stance. I know. Fair enough. Look, that actually shows that I'm not a grifter, because my audience was liberal and my views organically changed, even though it was bad because I lost part of my audience. It's just, I had to be true to what I was really thinking, okay? I had to be true to what I was really thinking. I've been really shattered by, how leftists have failed on crime and immigration. The top 3 things wrong with Australia today. Housing bubble, reliance on the CCP for our economy, and infinity migration. Those are the 3 toughest things, I think, in Australia right now. I'm interested in learning about Lee Kuan Yew thought. What books have you read about Lee Kuan Yew, and what would you recommend to someone trying to learn about his philosophy? Yeah, good question, actually. You should read his book From Third World to First, and his other book, The Singapore Story. So he's got two books that are basically biographies where he discusses the political history of Singapore. There's another book I've been reading recently by a foreign correspondent for The Economist called The Lion City. Let me just check that that's the name, The Lion City. That's a short book. That's a good one, actually. Yeah, Lion City, Singapore, and the Invention of Modern Asia. So there's 3. And I've been reading all 3. Viet is not right. It's strange to not have any English signage. Of course it is strange. In an English speaker to have 0 English signage, that is weird. That's just strange. Thing. Why would you have that? Why would you think that's good? I don't understand. Why is that good? It's not good for a country. Like, it just vision. If we can't speak, if we can't speak to each other, we literally can't, we have nothing in common. Language is the basis of all culture. And I know that for sure. Let me give you an example. My ethnic heritage is Greek, but because I don't speak the Greek language, I'm cut off from that culture. Language is the basis of all culture. So if somebody doesn't speak English and they're living in Australia, we literally have nothing culturally in common. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. If you can't communicate, there's literally nothing that unites us at all. And then you just have separatism, then you just have balkanization, and then you just have collapse. That's the problem. True. What you have failed to realize is that it is okay to disrespect white culture, but disrespecting Asian culture is very wrong, okay? Alex says, I'm a conservative that's been following you before your shift. Thank you. I'm appreciative of that. It's good that there are some people. I think the majority of my audience was probably liberal, and a lot of people were pissed off by my change. But like what? I was just supposed to just not have a reaction to all this crazy stuff that's been happening. I don't like how I don't like how so many mainstream liberals acted when it came to Charlie Kirk. I don't like how they acted when it came to October 7. I don't like how they act when it comes to like third worldism, sympathy for Islamism, their hatred for Western civilization, their tolerance of crime. This is the stuff that I don't like at all. I'm at the point where I'm just convinced most of the people on Twitter, are you talking about Twitter, on X are bots? All the sentiments are popularity on here is completely the opposite of reality. There's a lot of bots on Twitter, unfortunately. It is. The main issue with Australia is that the economy is fake. That is a big problem. That is a big problem. We've got a massive housing bubble. Like the housing bubble is like the full economy, and it's a disaster. And we don't have any manufacturing. You guys need to start building stuff again. Yeah, absolutely. That's the big problem. That's the big problem. We really do need to build stuff again. That's it. We need to build stuff again. Is immigration a problem in Australia because of increasing crime or because of economic reasons? There's a number of things. Like it's mainly economic. It puts a lot of pressure on housing, puts a lot of infrastructure pressure. There's been a lot of crime in Melbourne linked to migrant gangs. And it also just creates cultural division as well, unfortunately. True, you see a lot of issues, but I like Green's fixes where they will crash the economy and cause middle class and low class to suffer unbearably. And all those shops do have English signage. Okay, when did I say that I wanted to ban the shops? Okay, all I'm saying is that they should have English signage. And all I'm saying is that they should not be selling primarily to foreign buyers. Good comment by Wake Up Chat. Like, I am beyond disgusted with Candace Owens and Ian Carroll literally openly claiming to be justice for Charlie while simultaneously destroying his reputation as an organization. It makes me sick, and I refuse to believe that this many people are brainwashed. Yeah, it's sick, man. It is sick. It's so wrong. They are really sick. They waited for Charlie Kirk to die, and he got killed, and then they're actually happy because they think that they can then try steal away his audience and then use it to push all this like hardcore anti-Jewish hatred. It's actually really sick what they're doing. It is really sick. I went to a Greek restaurant the other day for the first time. It was great. None of the signs on menus were in Greek though. I could take 10 different Chinese, Hindu, and Korean only restaurants only in Vietnam. English benefits you because it is cosmopolitan. Yeah, Vietnam, you don't have massive demographic change in Vietnam. So you don't understand, man. You don't understand. If Vietnam, okay, here's the analogy, right? If the Vietnamese people were on track to be a minority in Vietnam within 15 years, then we would be in the same position. On this current demographic trends in Australia, European Australians are on track to be a minority within 15 years. Would you like that for Vietnam? Would you be happy for Vietnamese people to be a minority in Vietnam within 15 years? Of course not. You wouldn't. Nobody would. Nobody wants to become a minority because historically minorities are badly treated. And I can't think of a scenario where a majority became a minority and then were treated well. So I think you just don't understand Vietnam. I think it's very easy for you to advocate cosmopolitan values and multiculturalism and stuff. But Vietnam has pretty low migration. Vietnam is not in any way at risk of seeing Vietnamese people become a minority within years. It's happening so fast. That's the current demographic data. Mainstream liberals didn't celebrate October 7th. Only communists celebrated it. Yeah, but my problem is that so many liberals were tolerant of people like Zohran. That's my problem, right? Unfortunately, mainstream liberals tolerated hardcore tankies in their midst. And I think deep down Zohran is a tankie. He's obviously hit it well, but I think deep down he is a tankie. Viet is giving you good thought exercise. However, you aren't engaging well. It's why you got poor showing from your recent Wick and Loaded Box and Pisco videos. Okay, I'm trying to respond, okay? Manufacturing is dead. The future is podcasting. I agree, actually. That's so true. That's so true. Everybody has to start their own podcast. That's it. Alex says this. Yeah, I knew that the left was evil, but even I was surprised by their mask off moments this year, cheering for the death of Kirk and others and being openly pro-Hamas. Yeah, that's the stuff that I hated. That's the stuff I hated. Who cares when you say it's not a defense for you? If you have to keep saying it, it means your message isn't landing the way you want. Okay, what exactly have I said wrong? The left is evil, but the only attacks towards the non-tanky left are ad hominem and audience capturing, not philosophy and principles. Listen, Vietran, the problem is that unfortunately so many liberals are tolerant of the tankies and they want to include the tankies in their coalition. Look at how Zohran has been embraced by the mainstream of the Democrats now. That's my problem, okay? They're increasingly tolerant of people to their left, hard left. Who was that guy who said I had a hunchback? That pissed me off. I hate that. That was so annoying when somebody said that I had a hunchback. Literally eating an Asda steaks right now, based. That hey Vietran, that means what did the guy say before? If you're having a steak, you can't criticize Sam Biker for torturing his dog. Sorry, man. I'm sorry to tell you there. Zohran didn't celebrate October 7th either, though, as far as I'm aware. He's condemned Hamas on October 7th, pretty sure. Look, he like kind of did, kind of didn't. I remember when he put out a statement on like October 9 where he was already attacking Israel like 2 days after October 7th. So it seems like he's one of those guys who's like kind of sympathetic to it. He's one of those guys who's like, it was a prison break, blah, blah. Hey, new here, but I have to say I've been loving your takes lately. It's so nice to see some people not around particular party, but more about particular common sense. Thank you, Miss Riz EXO. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, yeah, no, Vietnam has a lot of rich people. Vietnam has been growing very spectacularly. Vietnam's a good country. I like Vietnam. Vietnam's a cool country. I've got no problems with Vietnam. I like Vietnam. Zohran was literally embraced by Trump. Yeah, that was pretty funny to be honest. Not really. I mean, Trump campaigned hard against him. Like now that he's the mayor, they're working together. But Trump campaigned very hard against him. Literally was saying that he's going to deport him like a month ago. Liberals realize that modern conservatives share more intrinsic values in common with you than socialists do. The modern left has largely been usurped. Yeah, see, that's where I come from, right? Like, there are all these liberals who want to have this sort of like grand coalition with socialists against Trump. And my position is like, no, I unfortunately prefer conservatives to socialists. And that's why I am no longer considering myself a liberal. Miss Riz said, I wanted to add to the person talking about Ken Stone and Ian Carroll. I don't think people realize how bad they are trying to take Charlie's audience. I personally think they're control ups. They're evil, man. They're evil. They saw Charlie Kirk shot in the neck, and then they straight up try to steal his audience and say the Jews did it. It's like sick. It's actually sick. I said you had a hunchback, got a problem. You said I was from the UK. I'm not a hunchback. That's sick. It's all political cinema. But again, why are conservative jokes and violent rhetoric allowed? The moral high ground tactic isn't working. I don't agree with conservative jokes and violent rhetoric. I don't like violent rhetoric. And also, I don't like January 6th. I think January 6th was bad. I criticized January 6th at the time. I think January 6th is bad. I think it's bad. January 6th was bad. Vietran, I didn't say that Vietran was a tanky. I didn't say that Vietran was a tanky. I'm just saying, and I'm not even really directing this at Vietran. I'm just saying a lot of people who are liberal wanted to have this sort of like grand alliance with socialists to oppose Trump. And I don't want to be in an alliance with Iran against Trump. Kina Casina, I never saw people celebrate death like on that day. Yeah, that was a sick day. That was a huge wake up call for me. Just seeing so many people. Even you have to admit, even Destiny, right? People who are supposed to be the sort of anti-tanky liberals, and they celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. That was huge for me. That was sickening to me. What's your issue with Zohran Mamdani? He seems like someone who genuinely cares about making New York City a better place to live. He also condemned October 7th and he's not anti-Semitic. I don't like the fact that Zohran Mamdani is like a race communist. He said that he wanted to tax white people more simply because they were white. I don't like that. I think that's bad. And I don't like that he just doesn't really like Western civilization. He thinks that America is like a colonial settler state that shouldn't have existed. I think that's bad. Drew, why have all the countries, hang on, where's this comment? Drew, why have all the countries bordering China started to hate China over the past couple of years? It's because the Chinese government constantly threatens to invade other countries neighboring to it. That's literally why. I'm ashamed to be in the top 5%, but my country is using the surplus I provide via taxing unproductively. Vietran, you shouldn't be ashamed. It's based that you're in the top 5%. It's good to be successful. It's good to be wealthy. It's good to be smart and educated. Good for you. It's good. It's actually good. I think people should stop, hating on people just for being successful. Look at those memes about, the famous memes where it's it's like Michael 30 Ands or whatever, and it's like how young, it's like basically like how productive people are just taxed into oblivion to support unproductive people. You need productive people for society to work. It's good. If you're creating a surplus, you're actually a good person. If you contribute more into the system than you get back, you're a good person. We should celebrate you. I think it's a good thing. People shouldn't be smeared just for being successful. I like capitalism like that. People being successful, people should be successful. People should be productive. We shouldn't just tax productive people into oblivion and then just give it to people who are unproductive, who don't even want to work. That's just my opinion. I don't like getting 40% on the dollar and then my money goes to shit. I don't like that. I hate it. Paying money for stuff like AUKUS, nuclear submarines, defense, I like that. I don't want my money to be going towards paying hookers for disabled people, which is what the government was doing through the NDIS, and that's stupid. The Australian government has this thing called the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance System. And as part of the NDIS, they literally did this thing where they gave government money to people who then used that money to pay prostitutes because they're disabled. And I was like, no, I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to put my money into that. I like this comment. I'm a centre-left liberal who shares more in common with centre-right liberals than with far-left socialists. Yeah, well said. Good comment by Miss Riss. Trump is playing 5D chess. He knows by being nice to him, Mamdani is going to have to be nice back, which is going to drive his base insane, so that it's a fraud. Maybe. I like that idea. I'm not a hunchback, dude. Dodo. Okay, I'm sorry if I got you confused with someone else, but I had another person called Dodo in my chat who was from the UK. Literally the same name. So I'm sorry that I got it confused. Because Destiny also is looking to take Charlie Kirk's type of movement. The Unfuck America tour was literally created to follow and harass Charlie Kirk around. So what is Destiny doing now? Trying to beat Charlie Kirk? All these grifters are always telling on themselves pathetic. I think it was just disgusting. I just thought it was disgusting that Destiny was cheering on the murder of a political commentator. Destiny's a political commentator. If you celebrate people getting murdered, that puts everyone at risk. It puts every single political commentator at risk. It's just stupid. It's insane. I hate it when we are called colonizers for being white. These people are retarded. Yeah, that's racism. That's anti-white racism. And I hate that. I hate the anti-white racism that is common on the left now. I hate that. JD or Gavin, I'd say JD at this point in time, um, not perfect, but I think if you look at Gavin Newsom in California, the crime there is disastrous. The NIMBYism there is disastrous. Unfortunately, Gavin Newsom's done a terrible job. There's just 10 cities on it. It's not going well, is it? So I don't think Gavin Newsom is a very inspiring example of good governance, you know? No, that's stupid. Being rich is good. We need people to be successful. What did Deng Xiaoping say himself? Deng Xiaoping said to get rich is glorious. Well said, Mr. Deng Xiaoping. In that sense, I'm a Dengist. Rewarding positive traits like ambition and hard work is a reward contribution to humanity in general. Think from an evolutionary human perspective. Yeah, absolutely. Being rich is good. More people should be rich. Exactly. As Deng Xiaoping said, to get rich is glorious. You're Greek with which generation? So on my mother's side, I'm fourth generation Australian. On my dad's side, I'm third generation. So on my mum's side, my great grandfather came to Australia in 1950, 75 years ago. And then my dad's side, I think it was my grandparents who arrived, I think, in 1967 or 1966, I think. 1966, I think. So my family's been in Australia for 75 years on my mum's side, and then it's like about 60 years on my mum's side. Yeah. Listen, I really strongly disagree with JD Vance on foreign policy. If I ever got the chance to talk to JD Vance, I would debate him on that. I'd tell him that Ukraine is a beautiful country and national conservatives should support Ukraine. And we have a link to Europe. Western civilization should stick together. That's what I would say to JD Vance if I ever got the chance to talk to him. Falafel in the bag. Of course, this mutt supports half breeds. Another another basement dweller doesn't even put their name and photo. They're just disgusting. Shame can be safely ignored. I am tired with the talk about taxes. Just Lee Kuan Yew and Bukele yourself towards wealth. Reshuffling of the pie just gives politicians an excuse to do nothing. We need productivity. We need creativity. We need to build. That's the future. We need dynamism. That's what we need. Depends. I don't like it when billionaires hoard their wealth. I like it when they productively reinvest it back into society. Carnegie creating the great universities. You know, creating Chicago University. Elon making massive technological development. I like to see when they use their wealth to improve civilization. That's what I like. That's what I like. For your information, since you could have passed this message, I didn't hate that, bro. I'm talking about how they didn't spend those into welfare. Yeah, no, I get you. I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking about you, Vietron. That's okay. I still like Vietron. I still like Vietron, even though we have some political disagreements. Do you have a library of 1,000 books? I think I've got about 900 books in total, and I've built that up over like 10 years. I went to a lot of book fairs. I got a lot of books secondhand as well. You shouldn't dismiss the wealth distribution point as a point. We should celebrate wealthy and make it easy to build wealth and celebrate and promote the wealthy to give back like the Romans. I think we should celebrate them giving back. We need the wealthy to reinvest in society, building civilization, keep developing things, always make things better. That's what we want. Always develop civilization, always improve it. That's what we need to see happen. The great billionaires of the current day should build grand new universities, should build grand new monuments. They should invest in space travel, advance the human frontier. They should put heaps of money into research and development. Never hoard wealth. Always reinvest it. Build society. Build civilization. Build the West. Build human prosperity. Build human prosperity. That's what we want to see. Build. If you would meet JD Vance, you would debate him, but you most likely won't meet him, and you still support a pro-Russian dude. I can be a conservative who supports Ukraine. I don't agree with JD Vance on Ukraine. I'm a conservative who's pro-Ukraine, pro-NATO, pro-West. That's fair. I think that's fair. I don't have to agree with JD Vance on everything. Obviously, I strongly disagree on Ukraine. I don't like what he did with Zelensky. But I agree with him on mass migration and on immigration in general. By the way, guys, thank you for everybody who's been leaving likes on the video. Thank you for that. Helps us reach more people. So if you're watching live, leave a like on the YouTube video. I think we got 14 likes on the YouTube video. I need more likes on the video, guys, so it helps us reach more people. I'll try to go back to streaming every day. Try build up the YouTube again. Look, I think it's a bad peace deal. I criticize it today. I think any peace deal needs to give strong security guarantees to Ukraine to stop Russia from re-invading. If I could, what I would like to see happen is freeze the current lines of control and then give strong security backing to Ukraine to stop Russia from re-invading. Zohran is a social democrat, but they don't seem to realize Hassan is a tanky, someone who splits the left, romanticizes authoritarianism, and has even encouraged tanky in my country to shut down activists. Here's the thing, Vietran. I think that Zohran's relationship with Hassan actually indicates that he's a closet tanky. I don't think Zohran is just a social democrat. I think he realized that he had to moderate a lot to get elected as mayor of New York City. But I think his true heart of hearts, his true position is seen in the fact that he is friends with Hassan Parker, who is genuinely just a communist. Like, Hassan Parker is an open communist. He's an open tanky. He hates America and he supports Stalinism, essentially. And I think the fact that Zohran counts him as a friend and works with him, that's something that I really hate about Zohran. And I know that Zohran has tried to move away from that so that he can try to appear more moderate. But I think it speaks volumes who you're willing to work with. I think it speaks volumes. Like, the mayor of New York City counts Hassan Parker as a friend. I think that's bad. I think that's terrible. Zohran is a commie. In his victory speech, he quotes a socialist. I think, unfortunately, Zohran is a communist. I think deep down he's a communist. He's a tanky. I think he covers it up well. He had to moderate a bit in order. Recent polling did show that Democrats still dislike communism. What poll are you talking about in specifics? I don't think he's trying to associate with him anymore. Hassan's on a paid trip to China now. He's a complete fraud. Yeah, so Zohran is smart. Like, he's going to probably strategically distance him, but deep down he likes Hassan. Zohran's just smart enough. Zohran's just smart enough to realize it's really bad optics. Zohran's smart enough to realize it's bad optics, but it's concerning that he ever was friends with Hassan. He has changed his tune a lot since that victory speech. I live in New York City. That's cool that you live in New York City. It's great to see a fellow New Yorker here. As we all know, I live in the Big Apple. Great to see you here, my fellow New Yorker. Zohran calls himself a democratic socialist, but he's friends with actual communists like Hassan Piker. And what does that say? What does that say? He's also continually endorsed people who are like literally communists. Someone said Hassan helped Zohran win New York City. So true. So true. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. People definitely voted for Zohran. That's so true. Absolutely. Mental. Zohran thanked him personally. He didn't thank him personally. I watched the victory speech. He didn't. New Yorker. Nah, I don't actually. Like, wait, no. I was just joking. I actually live in Brisbane, Australia, but I just sometimes like shit post and pretend that I live in New York City, and it really pisses people off. Like, I don't even hide it. Like, I've got Brisbane, Australia at the top of my profile. But like when I was talking about Zohran, I'd always say like, my fellow New Yorkers, we've got to oppose Zohran. And like people got so pissed off at me. I just did it because it was funny. It was actually really funny. It pisses people off so much. I'm very good at annoying people. I'm very good at annoying people. I thought that was funny. Yeah, I do agree with you. I genuinely think like there's not much difference now between Hassan Piker and Jackson Hinkle. There literally isn't that much difference now. He didn't even let him up to VIP. That's funny. Where did Zohran thank Hassan Piker personally? I didn't see it. Where did that happen? I love how Anna Kasparian thought you were an American traitor. That was funny as fuck. Did you guys see that? So I was just criticizing Anna Kasparian on some point, and she just said, "You're a traitor to America because you support Al Sharaa from Syria." And I was like, "Bitch, I live in Australia, you retarded bitch." That was pretty funny, actually. Anna Kasparian. Let me get that up. That was hilarious. Hang on, I'm gonna get that up. I'm gonna share my screen. Where was this? Hang on, I'm gonna. Anna Kasparian. Where was this? Yeah, this is so funny, man. Anna, do you actually think there is evidence that Israel killed Charlie Kirk? I think you're a subversive traitor to the US. Bitch, I live in Australia. What the fuck are you talking about, Anna? That was pretty funny, honestly. I think she just saw my previous shit post saying that I lived in New York. And I think she thought I actually lived in New York, which is really funny. I really wish I did live in New York. It'd be fun. I might actually go to New York in January as a holiday. And I'll protest outside New York City Mayoral Hall. I'll do it. I'll fly all the way from Australia and I'll protest the Ride Mamdani. Zoran's father compared Lincoln to Hitler. I don't know. I didn't see that. All right, I'll go to gym. Can you react to Tim Pool pressing Babylon beat Joel and defending Nick Fuentes? The struggle session was real. I didn't see that, but I hate that. I think it's stupid. Nick Fuentes describes himself as a fascist. So what's the point of going around saying Nick's not actually a fascist? Like Nick literally described himself as a fascist. So it's just pointless. It's just stupidity. It was person to person. Okay, so you were there, Saddam Supergirl. Okay, you were there. So true. If you watch Hassan clips, he constantly does wink winks with his audience to let them know Zoran is pretending to not be buddy buddy with him. Yeah, it's obvious. It's pretty obvious. You're a traitor to Australia as well. Though. No, I'm not. Fuck off. communist calling me a traitor to this country? Fuck you. No. A communist saying that I'm a traitor. You don't even believe in the nation state of Australia, so fuck off. I like Anna, but hate how she's been cheering on Candice lately. Notice all the people on left have like Sabi. Yeah, Anna Kasparian. It's mental that she's cheering on Candice on. I think Anna Kasparian just hates Jewish people. I think she's just obsessed with it. It's just mental. Very sad. Very sad. She just lost her brain to it. Many such cases. And it's very funny that she calls me a traitor when she is Armenian and she works for a news organization called the Young Turks. The Young Turks literally massacred and genocided the Armenians. She's a traitor to her own people, and she calls me a traitor to America when I don't even live in America. Bitch, you work for the Young Times and you work for the Young Turks and you're fucking Armenian, and the Young Turks genocided your ancestors. And you call me a traitor? Mentally ill? Come to New York City. Okay, I will. I hope I can go to New York City in January. I'm hoping. Why don't more people talk about the fact that Nick Fuentes and Elijah Schaffer were like the only two people at the Capitol, but they didn't get charged? I mean, that's a huge red flag. Okay, here's an interesting fact, right? I met Elijah Schaffer in person because I debated a neo-Nazi on his channel. So I met Elijah Schaffer in person. Elijah Schaffer told me that he was in Pelosi's office. On January 6th, Elijah Schaffer was in Pelosi's office. Everybody else who went into Pelosi's office that day got arrested and charged. Elijah Schaffer never got arrested and charged. That's pretty interesting, don't you think? That's a pretty interesting coincidence. It's strange, isn't it? That's actually strange. That's actually very strange, don't you think? Elijah Schaffer was in Nancy Pelosi's office on January 6th, and yet he was never charged or arrested, even though every single person who went into the building that day got arrested and charged, basically. That's pretty strange. You should visit the US and do a tour parodying Hassan's CCB cuck tour in China, like when he satirized Tucker Carlson's visit to Russia. That's a good idea, actually. I like that. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna take a note. I'm gonna do that. The obscure Adam, you should visit the US. Oh, wait, hang on. Hang on. How do you deal with so many people thinking you are a joke? I literally just dehumanize them. It's as simple as that. How do you deal with people thinking that you're evil and bad? I just dehumanize them in my head. I just think these people are all retarded communists. It's literally as simple as that. And it's actually a secret superpower. I can never be embarrassed because I literally just think to myself, everybody who opposes me is a fucking idiot and a cunt and a communist and they're evil. And then I have no problems then. It's actually so easy. It's actually so easy. How do you deal with the fact that thousands of people hate you around the world? I just hate them. I just dehumanize them and I just think I hate them back. And I don't care about the opinion of people who hate me because I hate them. It's just simple. It's very simple, actually. That's actually so easy. I just literally don't consider my enemies to be human. Very simple. Actually, very simple. These people hate me, I hate them, and I don't think of them as morally worth even thinking about for a second. Those Chinese people that you disparage are Australian citizens nonetheless. Your racism makes you a traitor to Australian values. What the fuck is this person even talking about? I never attack people based on race. Mental. You should go on Fresh and Fit for good exposure in America. Okay, I will. I don't like Marin though. I think Marin's a fucking psycho. But I'll debate him. It'll be interesting. My chat's freezing a bit. Are you on for debating Loaderbox Part 2? He said he was. I mean, sure, but what does he want to debate about? What would the debate be on? I'm happy to do it, but what would the debate be on? What would the debate be on? I'd be happy to debate him, but I don't know what the debate's on. How do you feel you have to spend time in someone's chat like that you don't like while they're accomplishing things? I'm happy. I actually want haters to be in my chat because they're boosting the numbers. So good for them. Thank you to the haters for boosting our numbers. Honestly, good for them. Imagine hate watching somebody on stream. That's like actually, that's torture. I don't even do that for Hassan because I hate Hassan too much. I've only watched like 1 or 2 Hassan streams in my life. Do not go on Fresh and Fit. I mean, I would debate them. I wouldn't. Obviously I don't like them. You don't know how hard it is to be in Vietnam when tankyism is thriving. I'm surprised that tankyism is thriving in Vietnam. I'd love to learn more about that. I'd actually really like to go to Vietnam on holiday, but I wonder whether my past like anti-communist activism against China and stuff would get me in trouble. And I think I went to like some like Vietnamese anti-communist rallies back in the day, like a couple years ago. So maybe that would be held against me. That was like years ago though. Sorry, it was just cutting out a bit, guys. Unfortunately, I might head out soon because unfortunately my computer's starting to play up a bit. Should debate Myron and Hitler. That would actually be so easy, man. That would be like debating like a child. Because I've done a lot of reading on World War II and history and stuff like that. I actually have a history degree, whereas like Myron has literally the brain of like a 10-year-old. Bro, check Obama in Vietnam video. Vietnamese views on USA and Western world used to be so different. Interesting. Let's see that. Okay, I'll bring that up quickly. Obama, Vietnam. What do you think is driving the tankyism in Vietnam, Vietram? I'm interested. What do you think is like is driving that? I'm gonna bring that up. Hang on, I got it. Okay, like this one doesn't have anti-Obama comments. Obama, Vietnam. What one do I watch? You can't. Comments aren't that tanky in anything I've seen. Maybe you have to link me. It's funny. Stream stalking a niche political YouTuber on a Saturday night. I can smell you through the screen, bro. That's pretty funny, actually. All right, guys. I might call it a day. My computer's starting to play up a little bit. It was good to test my new microphone. It still had a little bit of issues. I'm sorry for that. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It was a smaller stream today, but it was good to get back into the habit. I'll start streaming again. I'll try to do it every day now that I've finished university. And yeah, thanks for joining. It was good fun. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. God bless you all. See you later. And thank you, guys. It was good fun. See ya. I want to firstly I'll thank a couple people as well because I want to thank everybody because it's a lot easier when you've got chat. Chat helps keep things flowing. So I want to thank Vietran. His comments were very helpful. Helped me, keep going. Thank you to Restoring Order. Thank you to Alex C. Thank you to Full Circle History. Thank you even to like the tanky who hate watching Andrew and that Saddam girl boosting the numbers. Thank you. There was that there's an American lady as well. I want to thank. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you to Dodo, even the people that I was disagreeing with and debating. Thanks for tuning in. It was good fun, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you all. Thanks, Vietran. Thanks to everyone. See you later. God bless you all. Stay strong.